Well, Aristotle contributed to politics in several ways. First of all, he was a tutor to Alexander the Great, the famous king of Macedon, who later conquered the Persian Empire. So that's one way he contributed to politics, by tutoring a great leader. But he did more than that. He actually wrote about politics. He wrote about what constitutes a good constitution, what the best form of government is, and these writings have influenced political thought from ancient times until now. For example, in his book called Politics, which is not a book that many people read for pleasure, but it's a very important book nonetheless. In that book, Aristotle argued that the best form of government is a mixed constitution. Now, what does that mean? It means a constitution that combines elements of monarchy, aristocracy, and democracy. Now, why did he think that this was the best form of government? Because each of these three forms of government has some advantages and disadvantages. A monarchy, for example, is ruled by one person, and that person has absolute power. That's an advantage if that person is wise and just, but it's a disadvantage if that person is a tyrant. So Aristotle wanted to combine monarchy with democracy, because democracy is a system that makes sure that no one person has too much power. And then he also wanted to combine elements of democracy with aristocracy, with rule by the best. And so a mixed constitution, according to Aristotle, is one that combines these three different forms of government. And it's really interesting to see how even today, we still debate whether the best form of government is a mixed constitution. Some people say, no, the best form of government is a pure democracy. Others say no, it's a constitutional monarchy, or it's an aristocracy. So Aristotle's ideas are still being debated today. He also said that it's important to have a constitution that protects the rights of the minority, because in a democracy, the majority has more power than the minority. And so, if the majority oppresses the minority, that's not a good thing. So Aristotle was actually an early advocate of what we now call human rights. And finally, Aristotle contributed to politics by being a citizen of Athens, by paying taxes and serving in the military when he was young. So, in his own small way, he was contributing to the political life of his city. So that's just a little sampling of the many ways that Aristotle contributed to politics.